Today, we're making sure I don't go hungry anytime soon. Welcome to a new episode on the Create World, and today we're going to be working on some food. Before any of that needs to be done, I do need some more space to get actual farms in place. So here's what I can do in a couple of hours in 10 seconds. Up till now, I've been living off of bread that I got from raiding villages, and I'm running low. So we'll have to do something about that. First thing we need to do is get some protein set up. These take the longest because the animals have to grow up, so they take a while to get up to speed. So let's start with a processing chamber. This one is based off of a standard chicken farm, and the slab is just low enough that a baby chicken will not be touching the water. Once it grows up, it'll be forced to float up and into the second chamber, where we will have a deployer waiting for it. The deployer is going to be set up like any other harvesting machine. And that's about that for the mechanics of the chicken farm. The only thing that we need is a good source of eggs. So let me get some chickens that we can breed up, and I'll be back in a second. Before we get back to the chicken farm, I wanted to rebuild the dark oak farm once more, and I think it'll be better functioning with one gantry going back and forward, so we don't destroy the saplings in between harvests. Now we can get back to the building of the building that is going to be the chicken sandwich building. That makes sense. Sure, while we wait for the chicken cooldown to run out, we will get started with some walls made out of granite bricks. The bottom floor will be a place for some storage and some simple processing. It's just a big open room. And for the roof, we'll have a simple A-frame. I think I'll frame it out with some of the same blocks that we did on the lumberyard. But for the actual roof, I think I want to get some deep slate blocks to use as shingles. We'll add in some cyan glass for the windows because I like how it combines with the granite. And to add some variation to the granite bricks, I have these blocks with the same brick layout, but they have some darker bricks in them. So let's sprinkle them into the walls and break it up a bit. I think we have a solid building going with loads of space and a good amount of chickens to provide eggs. So let's get started on the rest of the ingredients that we need for the sandwiches. Before we plot out some fields though, I'm going to get rid of some more terrain. Eventually, we will have two sections of farmland. The section closest to the building is going to be automatically harvested. So on this one, we will plant wheat to make bread, carrots and cabbages, so that we can combine those with the chicken that we get into a nice sandwich to munch on. Of course, since cabbages and wheat only drop one piece when harvested, whereas carrot drop multiple pieces, we need to add a lot more of those into the patches. I've got most of the plots planted with what I had laying around, and I'll fill up the rest when I have more crops harvested. Now for the machine that's going to do that harvesting, we'll use a double row of harvesters that are going to go back and forward on a timed interval. This will drop its inventory into the drawers that are underneath the stairs in the building. And from there on out, we can use them however we like. Now all the ingredients that we need to make a good nutritious chicken sandwich are automated. So I'll spruce up the area a little bit, and since we've already done a couple of terraforming moments in this video, I'll just bring you guys back in when I feel like we're at a good point. Alright, the fields aren't entirely filled in, but we'll get to that. For now we need to automate our food. We'll start out with making the bread. By running out some wheat through a millstone, we're getting flour, which, when mixed with water, turns it into dough. Running that dough through some campfires with fans attached to them turns it into bread. The chicken gets a similar setup. We'll just cook it on a belt with some campfires and some fans, and it'll turn into cooked chicken. Now we can set up a belt that runs the bread underneath some deployers that put carrots, cabbages, and chicken into the sandwich. And the result is a nice filling chicken sandwich. While I was working on this, I've been filling up the fields a bit more here and there, and it's looking pretty good. They're not 100% done, but we'll get there eventually. The last thing that I wanted to do today was adding some platforms to the train stops in this town. These are going to be nothing less than a platform, but at least it's going to be something. One thing that I've been missing is seeing the time interval for the arrival of the train. So let's get some displays set up. And that's going to be all for today. If you liked what we did, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!